Carol Clack had competed on Friday with her dog, Dalamain Red Rascal, and glutton for punishment, she was back on Saturday with her working sheepdog bitch, Tasha, getting some exercise with their fast-paced heel work. It's a tricky exercise, this, particularly for excitable dogs. But Mary Ray, handling her well-known Tervuren Roxy with a super heel work position, was very successful. A lovely piece of heel work. Completing their slow-pace heel work and demonstrating the accuracy that John O'Hara was looking for is Stephanie Woolham from Bristol with Flair. They lost just 4.5 points and completed heel work in second place. Another experienced handler, Stephanie's been doing obedience since she was just 15 years old. For the bitches, the weave poles were placed on a curve. Perfectly executed by Karina Griffiths and her working sheepdog, Ginty. Karina's won Crufts twice in the past with another bitch, and this is her youngster coming on nicely. Mo Edser won this competition last year with Meggie, defending her title. I should imagine the tension is almost unbearable. The send-away had caused all sorts of problems in the dog competition, and it did with the bitches too, with the exception, that is, of Karina Griffiths and Ginty, who was the only bitch to lose no marks on this exercise. Perhaps not surprising from a bitch that's also competing in working trials. Intent expression on her face. Oh, whoops. She should pick up from behind, but she didn't lose any points, so obviously the judge allowed her some grace. Unfortunately, Calamity Joe lived up to her name for Sue Amos. She tried to curry favour with the judge instead of with Sue. Oh, there's my handler. She's got the right one now.
Exercise over.
As we went forward into the retrieve, Stephanie Woolham's Flair was in first place. This time the article was a plastic boxing glove, which she retrieved faultlessly. And that enabled her to hang on to her lead. Stephanie actually owns Flair's father, so she's been delighted with this little bit. She's very biddable and willing, apparently.
You ready? Last command. Throw the article.
Also remaining in second place was Carol Clack's Tasha. Another experienced bitch. She's almost 11 years old, so nice and steady.
Take it. Dog to heel.
I should be glad if a dog of mine looked like that at 11. Sylvia Bishop, on the other hand, had a terrible time with Mandy.
Dog to heel.
She got rather attached to that little boxing glove. It's good to know, though, that it can happen to the best of them, and nice to see Sylvia taking it in such good humour. After the distance control exercise, we had joint leaders. Carol Clack's Tasha was clear. So she managed to catch up Stephanie Woolham's Flair, who lost just 3 points.
Last command. Lead your dog.
Karina Griffiths' Ginty showed them all how to do it, chasing the leaders with this faultless distance control exercise.
Hold about turn. First position. Next.
Nice and calm, very precise. No anticipation, just waiting for the handler's command. And if you watch the mark on the floor, hardly any body movement forwards or back at all. But it was not to be two in a row for Mo Edser and Maggie.
We're all right this time. The yellow spots.
Totally the wrong thing to do. Okay, Mo, we'll forget it, but I suspect you won't.
Don't worry about it. Let's do some new ones.
So at the halfway stage we have joint leaders, Stephanie Woolham with Flair and Carol Clack with Tasha, both losing just 9 points. On to the sit stay, 2 minutes with the owners out of sight. Uneventful, although Sylvia Bishop's Mandy decided to go on to the next test in advance. And that, of course, is the 10-minute downstay, some dogs staying alert throughout. whilst others took the opportunity to flake out under the lights. Precision is still required though. Bearded Collie Pipperdine Keepsake lost 2 points for that little wiggle. And finally, the dreaded scent discrimination. Karina Griffiths had been in 4th place at this point, so her hopes were pinned on a good scent. Ginty seemed a bit confused. And he did indeed go for completely the wrong cloth, so they were out of the top 4. In joint 1st place, Carol Clack's Tasha. She's had a super competition and everything depends on her ability to pull off a good scent. The concentration on Carol's face. And Tasha picks up the right cloth. In fact, a brilliant scent. She lost just 0.5 points. Delighted, you can see. Now that left all the pressure on Stephanie and Flair. They have got to get a clear test in order to win the competition. A bit of hesitation, maybe some wind just blowing some scent through there. Working methodically now though. And no hesitation, Flair goes straight for the right cloth. Lovely, they've done enough to win. I'm sure the relief must be wonderful. Experience is going to win the day in this case. Stephanie over the moon. So Stephanie Woolham from Bristol with Flair topped the lot, and delightful to know that Flair is a much loved family pet as well as a top working bitch.